If there's a particular section you want to jump to, either hover your mouse over the progress bar and find the section you want, or open the description, scroll down to the chapter list and click the link.
I'm just going to drop back now. So we've got the library module, which has all our pictures. This is where we're working at the moment. Over on the develop module, we've got all the things that you've got in your camera raw. So you've got the ability to change the exposure and all sorts of things. But while you're busy going through all your thumbnails, that's very slow if you want to do first time tweaks. So I'm going to show you something which you might or might not have already found. And that is on the right hand side, we've got something called Quick Develop. And Quick Develop allows us to tweak an individual image very quickly. So exposure, we can just add that one and it'll tweak all of those at the same time. And if I didn't want those, I can just Z back out of them. So as I'm running through, if I want to just add just a little bit of something, because maybe I globally didn't get my exposure right, I can just, one arrow is a third of a stop, because how do I know that? It tells me on the little box underneath. 2 arrows is 1 stop. So I can just have a little bit, then I can move on. If I decide this one was a bit too light, I can do that one and move on. Right, okay. Underneath the Quick Develop is very vital for library work, and that's your keywording. Because keywording allows you to find the pictures afterwards. You put the words in here of whatever it is. So Bosworth Half Marathon, people, runners, what else could we have? England, trees. So I've just added a couple of extra keywords in there. None of the other ones have these extra words in, but it'd be great if I now could add England and trees to everything, or everything beyond from this one onwards. So if I highlight all of them, I can go down to the bottom here and it says sync. So if I press that and just go up a little bit, so there's the word trees, there's the word England. And if I synchronize all of these, let's look at the last one, has England and trees. So I can globally add corrections to that one.
So how did you add all of them, Paul?
Automation. So let's do another one and it will kind of make sense. So what should we add to this one? We'll tell it that Phil was there. Okay, so Phil P is part of this. So I have to press return to get rid of the white bit. If I just type it in, is white in the background and it won't do anything from there. So I just press return. I'm now going to highlight all of them and go down to the sync. So I don't have to do anything major myself. And this is all metadata, which we know about or we don't know about. Does it matter? Sometimes, but for the moment not. For me, it has my copyright. It tells me these were taken in 2023 and copyrighted. So wherever these images go on the web, my copyright is going to come up on those images. And as all of you know, from the 1968, I think it's 68 Copyright and Patent Act, all my images are my copyright until 70 years after my death. It used to be 50 years, but when we became European community, the Germans had 70 years on their copyright, whereas we only had 50. So everything was increased to equal the German version. So I have the copyright, and then down the bottom, I have the keywords. So now we've got, you're now immortal, Phil. Oh, so we've now got Phil down there. And as soon as I synchronize, it's going to add them to all of the images. Here we go. So if we have a look at the very last one, and there you are, Phil, you are immortal.
Right, okay.
Now, I've got to limit how many quick tips I give you because I don't want to blow your minds. But there's a gorgeous one down here. It looks like a spray can for doing graffiti. What could we do with that? And this is often missed when you do all the seminars. They often miss this, and I think it's absolutely brilliant. So if I press it, I've got it. It's moving around with my mouse, and it's going to do something. And it's going to paint something. It's going to paint whatever I choose. So settings, ratings, flags, labels, keywords, whatever I want to do. So if I went into keywords and I typed Frank. Oh, Frank Bradley. Okay, so I've decided I want to add Frank to all of these pictures because you're now famous, Frank. So if I get with my spray can and if you're using a mouse, if you hold your right mouse button down, I'm using a trackpad, so I'm just going to hold the trackpad down and I'm going to just spray it over the top row. Whee! I know it's done something because the pictures have now got a white border around. I know I haven't done anything to these because they haven't. So I'm now going to go and put my spray can back again. And I'm going to go and have a look at one of these. Oh, look, you're immortal, Frank. Could we use that one for something other than making Frank immortal? Yes, we could. We could have a rating. We could decide we want to make them all 1 star. So my pictures are so brilliant. We're going to make everyone a 1 star. So if I go over those, if I just do absolutely over everything nice and quickly, and let's have those last ones, and then I'm going to put it back and look down at the bottom of my images, my ones down there. They're all now 1 star.
Yeah.
So that's the quick way of doing, but I actually want them not to be 1 star. So I'm going to go back up to there, go up to star rating and go to none. So they've all just disappeared again now, just for the moment. So I've star rated some of them and I've flagged them. How does that help us? Let's flag a few more. So let's just whiz across there and flag some. And now I want to star rate some. So yes, I will use my spray can and I'll star rate some of these ones. Right, so I've star rated. Put my can back. So this is Frank going through his all his pictures, all his groups, and he's chosen which ones he wants to keep and do something else with. So over on the right hand side it says filters off. If I drop into that one, it says flagged. So I can press flagged and now it's only going to show me the ones that are flagged. Those ones I can now put into another folder. I can send those to print. I can send those to my client. If I go to rated and I've got 1 star. So all of these have got a 1 star. If I'd got a 2 star rating, I pressed 2 star and oops, I didn't think any of my pictures were good enough for 2 stars. So I can control how many go in that one. I can then go back into here, filters off, and I get absolutely everything back again. What else is down there? A face, people. Can't do this in Photoshop either. So if I go right to the top and click Pull Images, go into People, and it will look at images. There's a picture which was done for Joseph's birthday. So it's put a little square over Joseph's face, and it says, "Is this Joseph Taylor?" And I say, "Yes, it is." And it says, "So is this one Joseph Taylor?" And I go, "Yes, it is." So if I go into the faces, it says, "Right, we're happy that that's Joseph. Is this Bridget Venn?" No, I don't think she'd like to be called Bridget Venn, looking like that, especially if she's just had a birthday. Is this Thomas? No, that one's Thomas. This one isn't Thomas. So I say, no, this one isn't Thomas. This is Marco. As soon as you say yes, they go into there.
Yeah.
How does that help me? That helps me if I'm looking for a picture of Joseph Marco or Paul. Over, let's just drop out of there. Let's go back into these guys. So over in keywording, we did all that stuff where I made Phil famous, and putting the keywords in is really powerful stuff because you can find. It could be you want to do a composite. It's creative month coming up and you want to do a composite, and you need a fir tree and you need a doorway. In your keywords, if you label a keyword that it's a doorway, and do we put trees in this one? I don't think we did. So we'll have a tree. So you've labeled it having a tree. So when you're looking for your images to make up a composite, all you've got to do is search in metadata for trees. But there's a better way of doing it. You can come down below keywording to a keyword list. Click on there, and these are all the keywords that I've used at any one time. Apple blossom, 6 images, press the arrow, and it pulls up all the pictures of apple blossom that quickly. Very powerful stuff. It also tells me what camera it was on, what lens, and whether it was labeled. Labeled as in a star rating, a flag, or a color. So powerful stuff. On keywords. So keywords you put in yourself, and that is your way of finding your images. If John is doing pictures of birds like he does brilliantly, or butterflies, depending on what season it is, if he's trying to find all the pictures of red admirals, as long as he's keyworded red admirals on the images as he's put them into his library, he will be able to pull them all back out again. And what would be an easy way to do that would be, they're all filed in date order, because John's a clever guy and he's been listening to Paul and he's decided he's going to do all his pictures in date order so that he knows which year he went off to the common and etc. He's decided he's going to pull them all back out as a collection. So in my member support collection, I've got a plus, and it tells me I can create a new collection. I haven't got any red admirals, so I'm going to go for elephants, John, if that's okay with you.
That's absolutely fine.
We can create a collection which then just becomes blank, and I've got to drag these pictures into my collection. I can make a collection set, which is what I've actually done here. This is like a filing cabinet, and I've created a filing cabinet, and at the moment I put 2 different files in. One contains Bosworth runners, and the other one contains the pictures that I've done ready for you guys. So they're in the second one. But what I could do is make a smart collection, and smart collections are exactly what they say. So if I type in elephants, so now I want to find some elephants. I want to put it inside my member support. That way, I'm sorry to say, I'm not going to want this folder later on, but so I can find it and delete it. So I've got one to put my criteria. So down here, it says, what do I want? Am I interested in the ratings of stars? No, I'm actually interested in keywords. So I have a look down here and I see if there's anything which tells me what I want. So I could ask it for all the flagged pictures. I could ask it for all the star rated pictures. I could ask it for the file names if I knew what they were. I could ask them for the date, the capture date, or the date I edited it. And I can go down and have I done modifications to it? Any searchable text is what I'm going to go for. So any searchable text contains elephants. Can I spell elephants? Yes, I can. So I'm going to create it. And it turns out I've got 699 pictures of elephants, including ones on dresses. So if we go into there, I'm going to press G for grid, and there's some little elephants, and they're all nice and cute, just waiting to be fed. And this one was absolutely gorgeous. So I can create a collection with, down at the bottom there, either manually making a folder. I can make a collection with the smart version. I could, if I wanted to, go up to, I'm rather worried as to what pictures I might have in here. What have I got in there? There's the folder. It's the 13th of September. I was doing some gardening. If I right mouse click this, it says, would I like to create a collection? If I press yes, it says, where do you want it? I'm going to say inside, I can't see me, member support, inside member support. Very interesting. Do I want to synchronize it with Lightroom? And I'm going to say yes, because there's only 2 pictures here, and we're going to see what happens. So at the moment, the only place these pictures are is on my desktop. So I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say create. I'm going to go down here and see whether it created it. And yes, it did. There's my 2 pictures, my little waterfall boy and a nice blue sky. Over on the left-hand side is a little double arrow. That is telling me that those 2 pictures are going up to the cloud. The other place it tells me it's going up to the cloud is on the very top right-hand side. Can you see my mouse on the top right-hand side? There's a little cloud with an arrow. And if I press in there, it tells me I'm synchronized. Those 2 pictures I've just sent should already be up on the cloud. So I'm synchronized. It also tells me the amount of space I've got on the cloud. I'm allowed 23 gigabytes because that's what Adobe give me. If I overstay my welcome on that one, it costs me money. So at the moment, I'm only on 6.7 gigabytes. Before we go into the develop module, I'm going to go over and have a look at the other Lightroom, which is that one there. Did that one come? Yes, it did. So this is now on the cloud. And down the bottom here are those 2 pictures that a moment ago were on my desktop. So I've synchronized those on the cloud. Now, all those pictures I'm going to find on my iPhone as well, which means that when I come down the club on a Thursday night, I can get out my iPhone. I can say, hey, John, I'm really clever. Look how much garden I dug. So it's synchronized. Let me just give you a thought on colors. Where should we go? Let's go to Milos. I thought that was me then for a second. Right. Okay. So you've got different ways of doing your images. You can flag them. So let's have a flag. So I'm going to pick that one. I can do a star rating on this one. So here's a star rating on this one. So I got a flag and I got a star rating. Then over this one, I can put a color on. Where's my color gone? Oh, I moved it to outtakes. Well, that was what I wanted to do.
Oh, now what you do?
I'm going to bring my filters back. So there's 4 different colors, 5 different colors: red, yellow, green, blue, purple, and I think that one's a gray. The brilliant thing about these colors, let's just right click on a folder. You can color code folders and images. So if I go down to add a color label to a folder, if you go into your settings along the top, you can add extra words. So red means culling needed. This is me. These are my choices. This is not law. So yellow needs additional culling. G is finished. B is already culled. And P, which is your purple, needs keywords. So all of these ones down here in purple, it tells me that the content of those folders, when I've got 5 minutes, they need keywords sorting out. That one's blue. So what was blue? Blue was already culled. So you can use your colors to help you with your library version. If I go inside Cypress, so if I go to this nice gentleman, and he was a nice gentleman, and I right mouse click on him, and I can go down to wherever it says color label, I've actually got different words against those. So red means move to the outtakes. Yellow means I need to do Photoshop. G means I move it to the base folder. B is in active progress, and purple I didn't choose. So I can put a different color on images within a folder so I know what I'm doing. I know that I need to send something to Photoshop or do something different. If I want to send this to Photoshop, it's easier to do it from the desktop version than it is from the cloud version. So this nice young gentleman, if I right mouse click and look down the choices here, it says edit in. So I can edit in Photoshop, I can edit in Nik software, I can edit in Topaz, whatever I need to do. So if I want to edit in Photoshop, I click that one, and in a few moments time, when Photoshop opens up, because I should have opened it up knowing that I was going to do that, it'll take this image into Photoshop. Here we go. Is that Photoshop over here? Yes, it's opened up on my
on the other drive.
On my other drive. So let's just take him over there. So that's come up in Photoshop. I can do my corrections in here, and I can then send it back again. So
if that was a RAW image, would it open it up in RAW?
It would open it up in the RAW editor, yes.
Yeah.
How do you send it back then, Paul?
I just close it.
And it goes straight back, yeah.
And it goes straight back. Now, this particular case, if I change it to black and white, I've changed it to black and white. Whereas on the cloud-based version of Lightroom, I changed it to black and white, but I didn't really do it because when it comes back to my desktop, I can change it back again because it's just a smart preview. If I want to send him back, I just go back up to File and I close. I suppose I could do something with him.
But what happens if you you wanted to change the file name? You've just altered it from the original. So you now want to change it back as a different name because you've altered it.
It won't overwrite it. It just puts it next to the original one, doesn't it?
It does, yes.
Ah, right.
Let's just do something. In fact, let's make a copy of it so that I can throw it away later. So let's just go into curves and just do a little bit of something to it. So I've now done a something and I'm going to send it back. So File, close. It says, do I want to save it? And the answer is yes, because I know I'm safe. So I can send it back. Down there it says it's saving the file, and back in my Lightroom, it's arrived back again next to the original. So there's the original one, which is a Nikon file, but this one has come back as a PSD.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, got that.
I've got a system, and I set it up at the top here, which says when they've come back from Photoshop, I add the word me on it. And that just means to say, I know that I've done some editing on it as opposed to brought it in natively as a Photoshop file. Does that make sense?
Yeah.